Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is chapter 7 of the Chrysalids, and today we'll deal with something new. If you see the plot was going to be even a little bit. We know about David, Suvi, and so on. So plot needs something to return it to action again. Emily's mother gives birth to a baby whom they call Petra. The narration foreshadows that she may have some form of deviance. Petra nonetheless is still certified normal by the inspector since she has no physical deviation. You will see then that the inspector tried to punish Joseph Storm by coming so late, by moving reluctantly, and of course that gave the family a lot of worry. Okay, they get worried until the baby got certified, and they don't tell about the baby until it is certified. So the punishment came from the inspector in this way. Aunt Harriet, Emily's sister, has also given birth recently, but to a deviant child. We don't know how deviant she was. The writer did not tell us, and David didn't know. In a desperate attempt to get her child certified normal as well, she goes to Emily, hoping to swap babies for a while. Okay, now what's the danger? Aunt Harriet got birth to two deviant before. So if this is the third one, her husband can send her away to the French, and he can marry another woman. So it was difficult for her. Something difficult. She needs to act. She needs to find a solution. So she thought about her sister and about the new baby. If we can switch the babies for a while, a day or two, and then inspector comes, their inspector, and he can certify the baby, which is Petra, but of course he doesn't know, and give Aunt Harriet's daughter a certificate, so a problem is solved. But of course she was too optimistic. Sorry. However, Emily rejects her proposal and brings in her husband Joseph, who accuses Aunt Harriet of concealment. So Emily refused. Moreover, she called her husband, "Come and see what she's telling me." Scandal. Okay. David eavesdrops, so he was hearing from the other room on this conversation from the next room. Aunt Harriet is later found dead in a river. Okay, so Aunt Harriet got so sad and she committed suicide. Chapter 8. David is upset by what happened to Aunt Harriet. He will never forget the vision he had for her in the river, with her hair flowing around her and the baby beside her. Uncle Axel shares some of his philosophy about how the true image of man is known. He points out that the old people caused the tribulation, thus they were not perfect either. Why did he say so? Because the people at his society wanted to be as normal as the old people. At the same time, they think that the old people got themselves punished by their deeds, okay, and got the tribulation. So it doesn't make sense for him. How do you take them as like a role model, and at the same time you know that they caused tribulation for themselves? The telepathic group share their names and locations with each other so that they can be more aware of each other in case of any emergencies. If you remember, before that we said one of them stopped communicating, and David asked Uncle Axel to help, and they found out that he was a boy living far away, and he got an accident and he died. So they decided to share their names and locations. So let's go. Everyone tells his name and where he lives and gives us more information about himself or herself. Chapter 9. In chapter 9, David discovers that Petra, the newborn baby, but of course now she's like 6 years old, can communicate telepathically when Petra falls in the river and sends out a panicky, thought-blocking signal to all telepathies. David was working, and suddenly something like a scream in his mind blew up, and something dragged him to the river. When he reached there, he found Petra was about to be drowned, and he found Rosalind also summoned to the site. David comes to her rescue and finds that Rosalind also was drawn towards Petra's signal, thus endangering them. Why? Because people would think or would wonder how they both knew of the danger when no one else heard anything. So this is like suspicious. David dreams again of his father sacrificing an offense. Last time he dreamed of him sacrificing Sophie, but this time the sacrifice is Petra. Why was he worried about Petra? Okay, because another deviant, weak one, soft one, delicate one, and if his father knew about her, he would not hesitate to sacrifice her as well. Although, if you remember, the inspector told David that this doesn't happen. If a person is deviant, they send him away. But still he has this worry. Petra is not able to receive telepathic communications. They decided that she's too young to understand. They tried to send her think or thought pictures, but she couldn't receive them. So it is left to David to teach her. Aside, David talks to old Jacob about many impurities in the crops and stocks this season, and finds out that old Jacob thinks all impurities, including humans, should be killed. So, old Jacob is one of the fanatic people in the society. He thinks that even humans should be killed instead of sterilized and sent to the fringes. Okay, here is a sensitive issue. They used to sterilize them in a polite way means to stop them from being able to reproduce. And why? Because they don't want them to reproduce and give birth to more deviant creatures. Okay. So, oh my god. So think about Sufi. They did that to Sufi, so she will not be able to get children when she grows up. Chapter 10. David and Rosalind are in love, but the parents of both Rosalind and David will be for sure against their marriage. This is something like Romeo and Juliet, of course. You know that Storm and Uncle Agnes, they are not in good harmony. So, one of the telepathists, Anne, announced her plans to marry to Alan. Oh, you remember Alan? The one who reported Sufi. A telepathic group tries to talk Alan out of getting married to a normal person. because it puts them all in danger. As a wife, she might tell him one day about the secret, and of course he will report that, and they will be all in danger. There was like a long debate between them. She said, I have to. We are 5 girls and 2 boys, so 3 of us will have to marry outside the circle of telepathies. Okay. And decides to cut off contact with the group and discontinues communicating. David, feeling helpless, confides in Uncle Axel for advice. Okay, then less than a year after, Alan is murdered. Thank you for now.